Okay, so if you've been a fan of this series, you know I'm talking about this movie series a lot. I probably mention it at least probably every couple of 10 episodes about something I need to do. I've never done it before. And I finally got my hands on the movies of wizards at a place called Hogwarts. Yes, I'm talking about Harry Potter. I'm finally starting a movie review of the series. I'm excited for it. And this one's gonna be about the Sorcerer's Stone, the very first movie from the year 2001. Let's hop onto the train. Let's go ahead and go to Hogwarts. Today, we're breaking down Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Zakka. And what is Movie Breakdowns? It's a movie review series where we look at new and old movies, give them grade A through F, plus and minuses do count. And if there's a movie you want me to review, let me know. Please put it in the comment section, and I will get to it as best as I can. Also, hit the subscribe button if you're watching this on YouTube. Please give me a like. I appreciate that. And on top of that, if there's a movie, I already said that, the movie you want me to review, you know, put it in the comment section. But also, I try to get to the best I can. On top of that, one extra thing, I have a Patreon. And on this Patreon, which is Zakka, my name, comment section below, check it out. You can jump in front of everybody else and become first come, first serve when it comes to asking for a movie request. And I will go ahead and search it out and get to it before everything else. So, let's go ahead and get into the review of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. First thought about this movie is that it is 2 hours and 32 minutes long. Good Lord, I wasn't expecting to sign up for Star Wars again, but I did. And there was a lot of Star Wars feelings I got while watching this movie. For some reason, I thought of episode 1 of Star Wars.
Tell me, you didn't just say that.
This is not a knock. So you Star Wars fans out there, who all you fans like, episode 1 is one of the worst Star Wars movies of all time. This is not a knock to it. It was just things in this movie I saw in Harry Potter 1 reminded me of Star Wars episode 1. That's not a bad thing. It's just something that came to mind while I was watching this. So, for example, they talk about the dark side of magic in this movie. I was like, dark side? Harry Potter is the chosen one. The chosen one. So, is Harry Potter Anakin Skywalker? Is Voldemort? Is he Darth Vader? Well, I guess that'd be weird because Darth Vader is Anakin Skywalker. So is Voldemort Dark Sidious? Oh no goodness. And I don't know. I have not seen this series ever. This is my first time watching this movie ever in my life. I'm 27 years old. This movie came out when I was young, as a kid, but I never decided to watch it. I was a Star Wars kid. Now hop into Harry Potter and to watch the whole series. I have the whole series, and I'm gonna try to watch it at least every weekend. We'll see how that turns out. But anyway, yeah, so I'm sitting there thinking, like, is this Star Wars? Is Harry Potter the chosen one with this kid who has all this power, who is famous, everybody know who he is? Is he the, you know, Anakin Skywalker, and then, you know, Dark Sidious is Voldemort? Okay, I'm getting Star Wars vibe. And also, at the end of the movie, Voldemort fights Harry Potter, but Harry Potter's on a couple of steps. He's at a higher level than Voldemort is. Harry Potter had the high ground.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground!
And we all know about the high ground if you're a Star Wars fan. Yeah, so of course Voldemort loses that. Like, of course he loses. He has the high ground. The high ground.
I have the high ground!
But those are the things I saw in this movie. Also, another thing that popped in my mind. This is 2001, so you take yourself back to 2001. I noticed that, you know, the CGI looked pretty good for that time. I'm not gonna lie, it looked like PlayStation 2 CGI today. The graphics like PlayStation 2 graphics, but at the time, 2001, that CGI worked out so well. It was like, ooh, that's really good. And I applaud this movie from putting as much CGI as they did to make certain scenes happen. But you can really tell it. You can tell when, like, it's computer animation, like the kids look like video game characters compared to real life kids. But I'm not gonna knock that. That's 2001, of course, the time. I'm just happy they gave it a shot, so I appreciate that. And on top of that, the Quidditch. So as a kid, I thought Quidditch was just like this, the big part of the movie. I thought that was what it was about. I remember look at the cover of the Sorcerer's Stone book, and Harry Potter's on the broomstick trying to get the Quidditch stone, get that stone, the golden. I don't even know what to call the name of it. I forgot the name of it, but the stone with the wings on it. Some Harry Potter fan right now is yelling at me like, how dare you not know? I'm sorry, guys. but Harry Potter's like trying to grab it on the book cover. In the movie, it's probably an hour into the movie you get the Quidditch game, and I'm thinking, this is not the main part of this movie. Why is Quidditch on the cover of the book? Why is, oh, okay, that's not the Sorcerer's Stone. Oh, okay, all right, did not see that one coming. And the Quidditch kind of remind me, the Quidditch game kind of remind me of the pod race scene in Star Wars Episode 1. Like, I get why the Quidditch game was important, because it was supposed to show that one, Harry Potter is a skilled, talented character, and his dad was a Quidditch player as well, and Harry Potter was the youngest one to play it. And I was supposed to show that like the character of Snape was a bad guy, and it was supposed to show that he is trying to sabotage Harry, but in reality he is not sabotaging Harry. He's actually trying to save Harry. So it was trying to show that they were trying to show more of this character named Snape and how of a bad character he is, and that like, oh, you put not like this character. Snape looks like a bad guy right off the bat. Like any kind of fantasy superhero adventure story you see, somebody who's all black, who's dressed the way Snape looks like, he doesn't really smile, jet black hair. Is the picture of the bad guy. He is like a Sith character. If I'm relating to Star Wars here, he's a Sith character. He looks like a Sith. I thought he was a bad guy. In reality, in the end of this movie, there's a twist. At the end of this movie, you see the kids are trying to find a Sorcerer's Stone. They're going through all these, like, you know, hula hoops and ladders to try to get to the stone. They go through all these challenges, and they finally get there. Harry finally makes it to the stone, and when he gets there, he sees this guy named Quirrell sitting there, and Quirrell was like waiting to figure out where's the stone at. He's been looking for a stone, and I'm like, oh shoot, I did not see that coming. I was thinking the kids was leading Snape through the trials and games, and as they got through, Snape was just like one step behind them because he couldn't get in himself, so he gonna let the kids figure out for him and then get in and pop up like, oh, it was me, I have it, it's me, Austin. Like, I had the stuff that was gonna happen, and in reality it didn't, and I was like, oh, that's a nice little twist I did not see coming. Good for you, J.K. Rowling, good for you. You got me on my seat. Another thing about this movie, there is a lull. So it's 2 hours and 30 minutes long. You're going to have some lulls, and this movie does have one after the Quidditch game. It has a big lull, and like especially when Harry Potter is seeing himself in the mirror and seeing his parents. And I get why the scene's important, and I understand it, but it really dies down for a moment, for a really hot second, and I feel like it doesn't pick back up until Harry goes into the forest. He gets in trouble and goes into the forest. Him, Hermione, and Ron Weasley goes into the forest. And that's when I feel like the movie kind of picks back up and you get like, what is happening? There's unicorns, werewolves, dragons? What is this? What kind of world is this? The world of magic? Okay. 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 I'm intrigued. Alright, let's see how this plays out. Another thing I want to talk about before I get into the actual storyline is the character. There's a guy, I don't know who he is. There's a guy in the Quidditch game, and this dude is acting his butt off. The dude has the most, like, so Slytherin is kind of like the dicks or the jerks of the Harry Potter school of Hogwarts. Can I say Hogwarts? But they're the dicks. They're like your, oh, I don't. They're like your frat stars. If you're in college and you have fraternities, there's certain fraternities, you know, and each school is different, but there's certain fraternities at different colleges who act like the frat stars. They're like, we're the bros, we got this, yeah. They play up to that role to the top. They really are like TFM frat stars that you see. They play those roles. Well, that's what Slytherin felt like to me. They felt like your frat stars, the guys who think they know everything. Like, oh, bro, let's go, man. We got this. Yeah, we're just good. We're jerks about it. And this kid, he, for some reason, had this grin on his face the whole time. He was like grinning every scene you see him in. He's competing against somebody, he's making that face. Somebody blocks him, he makes this face. I'm like, why is this dude grinning and like frowning so much? Bro, relax. But that's one thing that stood out to me. And then of course, Hagrid. Yeah, Hagrid. He is probably my favorite character in this whole movie. The dude is hilarious. He's your exposition guy. He's the guy who tells things to the characters and kind of explains the storyline, what things are going on, what's behind certain spots, stuff like that. But as he's like, they're asking him questions, he's avoiding the answer, and then he somehow gives it out by mistake. So, for example, he is talking about, you know, how he got a dragon, and he was like, yeah, and the guy from dragon from this guy down the bar, or the place, the tavern, and he goes, probably shouldn't have told you guys that. Or, yeah, what behind the trap door? Yeah, so that's where, you know, the Hogwarts secrets is, and only Dumbledore and this guy named Felch? Forgot the guy's other name. You meet him 1 second and then he goes, he's a centaur, but you meet him for 1 second, he goes away. But I think it's like David Finch or Felch or something like that. He's like, that's where only they know what's behind that door, and he goes, oh, I probably shouldn't have told you guys that. And I was like, or how so Cerberus, which is not Cerberus, is a 3-headed dog in this movie, and I thought it was Cerberus as a kid. I was like, oh, it's definitely Cerberus, but it's not Cerberus. And especially watching this movie, they give him another name. Fluffy, maybe is the dog's name. But anyway, he's in this movie, and there's like, yeah, how you get past Fluffy, you put him to sleep by like playing music. And then he goes, I probably shouldn't have told him that. And I love it. I love Hagrid. He's like one of my favorite characters so far. And I freaking love giants. Giants are just cool, like, as characters. And yeah, I thought it was pretty, I enjoyed him. Okay, so what is this movie about? This movie is about the start of Harry Potter's journey. This is the hero journey. This is the beginning of it, like episode 1 of any cartoon, anime or cartoon or hero story. This is it. You learn about like a quick backstory that Harry Potter gets dropped off at this house, that people treat him horribly. They find out that like he gets of age, he's 10 years old, he's ready to go to Hogwarts, and he gets letters and invitation. The parents ignore him. Hagrid comes out of nowhere and pretty much tells Harry, we're going to Hogwarts, let's go. Harry Potter finds out that he's actually well known. He's a famous guy, even as a kid, because he stopped one of the most sinister magicians of all time, wizards of all time, Voldemort. Which I thought in this movie we wasn't going to see Voldemort. I really thought we wasn't going to see him, and then at the end of the movie he pops up and I was like, oh man, I thought we were just going to hear about this character for like the next 4 movies, and then he pops up like in Avatar: The Last Airbender. You don't see the Fire Lord, you hear about him, you see his silhouette, but you never see his face until season 3. I thought we was going to do that with Voldemort, but we didn't. We actually got a quick reveal at the end of this movie. But anyway, Harry Potter stops Voldemort as a baby. Like, he pretty much vanquished the guy. He doesn't know this. His mom put a curse on him, or put like a, not charm, spell on him that made him pretty much the antagonist to Voldemort. Like, Voldemort can't touch him, and it hurts him. He weakened him. Voldemort's gone. So Harry, ironically, Voldemort appears when Harry Potter appears in the storyline, but that's how these hero stories work. But anyway, Harry gets all the stuff he needs to get, and he goes to Hogwarts. He meets his friend Ron Weasley, and he meets Hermione, who's a know-it-all. Hermione is a know-it-all. She is like, I wouldn't say a nerd. I guess I can say a nerd. She's a nerd. She knows her wizardry. She knows her spells. She knows everything. But she comes off really condescending at certain points and really like snugs other people down for not knowing their stuff. Harry Potter, the only reason Hermione doesn't do to Harry Potter because Harry Potter is gifted. He's really good. But Ron Weasley, on the other hand, Ron is not that gifted. Ron is the weak character. He's in the trio. He's the guy who's like always try to do right, but he can't really get it right. He's like your Ron Stoppable in Kim Possible. He's the clumsy character who's kind of there to support. He's a support character, but he messes up. And at the end of the movie, he does have one spot where this is his moment, and he owns that. He owns that moment, and I'm like, yes. The chess piece part of this movie I thought was done really well. I was intrigued, on the edge of my seat. I really love that. I had not seen that in the movie, and I thought it was pretty neat. A giant chessboard and them playing his chess out like life chess. I thought was pretty cool. Kind of reminded me of the episode Yu-Gi-Oh! Nerding out here. But anyway, so they meet each other and they kind of become friends. They're all in the same house, which they are the same dorm, or I guess group, which are Gryffindor. They get put in Gryffindor. You have Ravenclaw, you have Slytherin, and you have Hufflepuff. I believe that's the name. I'm gonna say Wigglytuff, Jigglypuff, but it's Hufflepuff. But anyway, they get put Hufflepuff. Did she watch Pokemon when she made that? Hufflepuff. But anyway, Wigglytuff, Jigglypuff, Jigglypuff. Can I call them Jigglypuffs? Sorry guys, don't get mad. But anyway, yeah, they get put in Gryffindor, and that's their house. So they're together. They decide to go, like, after one of the nights. Decide to go throughout the castle. Come across this door that you shouldn't go to on the 3rd floor. They go into it, and they come across Cerberus, or I guess Fluffy, sees the trap door, and they're like, there's something in there. We need to go figure out what that is. So they want to figure out what it is, but at the same time, they also realizing that there's a guy named Snape, who's one of the teachers, who pretty much doesn't like Harry Potter. And Harry Potter thinks he's up to no good. Well, in the middle of the movie, a troll somehow appears in Hogwarts and attacks Hermione. Hermione plays it off. The gang like beat the troll. Hermione, Ron, and Harry, they all work together to beat the troll. And Hermione's like, "This is my fault, guys." And they get docked points, by the way. So there's a point system that each house has, and at the end of the year, there's a giant like award for whoever wins. So this whole movie goes out through the whole summer. It goes from, like, I guess it'd be August all the way to next August. So you go through winter, you go through Halloween, you go through the spring. Which I was like, okay, we're going through a whole year here. This is interesting, like a school year. Okay, all right, I like that. I like that. I guess not August, but August to May, June, whatever your school year is. But yeah, they defeat this troll. And there's a really quick scene I want to talk about before we get to that, before I go to the next scene that leads up to the troll scene. Ron is talking bad about Hermione. Hermione's showing off in class, and Ron's like, she's always showing off, it's probably showing any friends, and Hermione like hears this and walks past, but never really, like, we don't get the character development of Hermione feeling the actual feeling. We don't get to see her like being sad about it. We just see her walk, like, storm past, and apparently she's hiding in the bathroom. We get told that, we never see it, and that's one thing I was like, I kind of wish we would have got a little more of that. I wanted to see that. You don't have to tell me that she feels sad. I want to see her being sad. I can tell she's mad, but was she mad at Ron, or was she mad about something else? We don't know. She was just in the background and stormed past him after, like, what apparently was like just walking together. We don't know. So I wish they would elaborate a little more on that. But then you also get the Quidditch game, and the Quidditch match, which reminded me a little bit of, like I said, pod racing, which is pretty cool scene, pretty cool match. And then you go through the whole load of the game, just kind of going about here and there, and as they try to figure out what's in this room, and they try to see, they notice Snape is doing weird things, so they're trying to stop Snape. And then they come down to the fact that, oh, behind that door it's the Sorcerer's Stone, thanks to Hagrid giving up the information, or Hagrid giving up the information, and they're like, oh, okay, that's what's behind the door. So they pretty much get into it, find that Fluffy's asleep, but also they're trying to stop Snape from getting there. Nobody will listen to that Snape is actually after the stone, which he is not. There's another character who's like the goofball character who actually brings the troll into Hogwarts, who plays a diversion, who plays a dumb character named Quirrell, who's around, and you don't think anything of him, but you know he's around. You don't think anything about, like, he's a bad guy. There's a moment where him and Snape, like he's bullying him, but I think Snape is actually trying to stop him. From what I got from the ending twist here. Also, side note, another guy who's been trying to stop the kids from figuring out what's going on is this dude named Finch. And Finch is freaking Walder Frey, and he's in this movie. Walder Frey from Game of Thrones is in this movie, and all I can think of every time I see this guy is the Red Wedding and that he ended Robb Stark, and I'm like, why gotta watch this now? So every time I watch him on screen, I get a little bit angry. Every time I think, what could have been in Game of Thrones? But now I'm digressing. Instead of saying with Harry Potter, I'm now in Game of Thrones because this guy is in Harry Potter. Why? Why? No. I don't want Walder Frey in my Harry Potter. I gotta deal with Walder Frey in my Harry Potter. I hope he dies soon. We'll find out. Anyway, back to Harry Potter. So, they go through a bunch of information. They finally get into the trapdoor. Go through a bunch of trials, such as, like, relaxing in a bunch of killer weeds. This is why I guess the Quidditch game was important, because in the ending scene, there's a scene where Harry Potter has to get onto a magic broomstick and pretty much capture a pair of keys that are flying around. However, and I do give it a good nod here, because you wouldn't, if the Quidditch game didn't happen and them learning how to ride broomsticks at the beginning of the movie, then this scene towards the end here where Harry Potter got on the broomstick and got the key that unlocks this other door wouldn't really work, because like you'll see Harry Potter get onto the broomstick and get it up and you're like, okay, he goes after the keys, but like how did he ever learn how to ride a broomstick? So the movie kind of builds that up. So that's why I think the Quidditch match matters, but at the same time it's kind of like it feels like it's out of place, but at the same time it matters for just that little bit. You know, earlier I was like, it doesn't seem like it really mattered. And it's a little reason, but you could have had Harry Potter, you know, the broom training could have been good enough to show Harry Potter's good at it, which he does show this. Like, he goes after capture this gift from a character. He captured this gift, and then the Quidditch game, that's how he gets into Quidditch. But he showed that earlier before he was training with the broomstick that he's good with broomstick riding. So at the end, I don't think it could have been that bad for you not to have Quidditch, to show that, okay, he can ride his broomstick, he's good at it. But anyway, he gets the key, gets to the next door. The next door is a giant chess battle, which I love, the life chess. That was pretty cool, and I thought it showed Ron's strong points, which the Killer Weeds show Hermione's strong points, the flying key shows Harry's strong points, and then the chess game shows Ron's strong point, that Ron is smart, he's creative, and he can get the team through trials. But one thing I did not like was that they were pretending that Ron was gonna get killed, and Ron is riding a knight. The statue got destroyed, not him, so I'm not sure why he acting like he's really hurt. He is simply okay. And maybe because there's 8 more movies that, or I guess 7 more movies that I didn't feel like the characters are ever in danger. I just felt like, oh, they'll get through this somehow because it'll be the next movie. And then finally, you find out that Quirrell is the main bad guy. He's actually the plot twist here. Like, oh, he's the main bad guy. Harry Potter defeats him because the power of love, and he touches Quidditch and Quirrell, who is pretty much part Voldemort, who is like using Quirrell as a vessel. He touches him and Quirrell turns into ashes. Yeah. Oh, okay. Sure. How do you get that? When I was watching how? Oh, alright. Sure. Also, how did Harry Potter get the stone in his pocket? Alright. Neat. How did we get here? Alright. And then the end of the movie, Harry Potter, no, he's tired. By the way, he had the high ground, like I said earlier. Of course he's going to win this fight.
From up here, on the high ground, I'm saying I've beaten you, and I'm on the high ground, so. High ground.
He had the high ground. Harry Potter wakes up. Dumbledore tells Harry Potter why he was able to beat, you know, Voldemort. Because one, he got the power of love, the curse of love, that he can touch Voldemort and turn him to ashes. And Dumbledore made the last spell, or the last trial, that whoever found the Sorcerer's Stone was somebody who wasn't looking for it for themselves. It was just looking for it to stop somebody else, or looking for it inadvertently. And that's how he had the stone in his pocket. Okay, we'll go with those Deus Ex Machina. We'll go with that. Sure. And that's what kind of brings my grade down a little bit. The lull and then the ending was like, I like the CGI, I like the acting, I feel like everybody did great. Okay, but we just, sure. I'll go with it. I'll go with it. Yeah, but anyway, this movie was a fun movie. I enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed it. I thought the acting was great. I thought the storyline was great. I was into it. The CGI was great for its time. Now, the CGI was 2001 or 2020. I might give this movie a lower grade. But the CGI for what it was, for the year it came out in, yeah, okay, it's good. So, and I think this right here is probably, when I watch a movie from 2001, I get worse CGI than this. I'm like, you guys did not do your job, because, or I get a movie from later on, like 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, and their CGI looks like this movie. I Fantastic Four and looked at you like this movie, then you guys messed up. So I think this was a good movie for what it was, and I enjoyed this movie. It was fun, I was intrigued, I was invested in all the characters. And speaking of characters, let's go ahead and jump into them. So, Harry Potter, who played by Daniel Radcliffe, to me in this movie, Harry Potter looked like a young Peter Parker. He looks like a young Tobey Maguire. And there's certain scenes I kept seeing him, and I was like, is that Tobey Maguire just younger, 10 years, 15, 20 years younger? Like, what is going on here? Why am I seeing Tobey Maguire in my Harry Potter movie? It was so many things with Daniel Radcliffe that looked like Tobey Maguire, and I don't know why. It's just certain scenes that he looked like him. And I thought, okay, maybe, I don't know, maybe that was intentional. I don't think it was. But yeah, I thought Daniel Radcliffe did great. Pull my computer over here because I got a lot more things to talk about here. So, Rupert Grint, who played Ron Weasley, I thought he did great. Emma Watson, who played Hermione Granger, I thought she did great. The characters for each one of these people, they fit their character trope really well, and I think they did a great job at it. Then you have Tom Felton, who played Draco Malfoy. I feel like he has a bigger role in the upcoming movies, but he's already established as the jerk character to Harry Potter, and I feel like he'll be more influential as the time goes on. Richard Harris, who played Dumbledore, thought he did great. By the way, I thought Tom Felton did great too. Maggie Smith, who played Professor McGonagall, I think I said that right. She did great. Robbie Coltrane, who played Hagrid, freaking love this dude. This dude's great. My favorite character so far. Ian Hart, who played Quill, I thought he did good too. He had me fooled. I did not see that coming, that plot twist coming. Alec Rickman, who played Snape, good. And then David Bradley. I only got marked him here because he's freaking Walter Frey from Game of Thrones, and my gosh, he's in this movie, and he reminds me of the same jerk character he was in Game of Thrones. And all I gotta say is Walter Frey in my Harry Potter movie. He kills Robb Stark. Freaking red wedding in my Harry Potter. Please don't let there be a red wedding scene. I'll cry. I don't want that again. I don't want to go through that trauma. But yeah, those are the characters I want to talk about. I thought the cast did great. That's a nod to them. I'm excited to see them in the next 7 next 7 movies. So yeah, let's go. Let's do this thing. One last thing, I guess. At the end of the movie, the houses all have their like point system to see who got the best house of the year. And I thought it was kind of messed up that Dumbledore decided to like show everybody the Slytherin run, and then he goes, "All right, got extra points for Hermione, Harry, and Ron, who saved Hogwarts and stopped Voldemort and saved the world." So everybody gets 50 points, or Harry probably got 60, everybody else got 50. And they're like, okay, it ties them up. We tied with Slytherin, Gryffindor was. And then he goes, and then we got this kid here, I can't think of his name right now, who gets 10 points for standing against his friends, and the Gryffindor win the cup. Now I was like, that's a dick move, man. You could just said it right there at the beginning, like, all right, here's the point system, here's everybody how to win. But no, we get this moment of like, oh, they didn't win this year, which the first movie. I don't expect the heroes to come out on top in every little thing in the first movie. I kind of like my heroes to have a little downfall somewhere else. Like okay, maybe they save the day, but maybe they don't get the credit they need. Peter Parker. Maybe like they didn't get to save the day. Maybe they messed up and somebody had to come save them, but like had to get like a pat on the back for doing a good job and kind of revealing everything. The other guys, or maybe they saved the day and they nobody kind of nobody cares. It could be one of those things. No, they got everything in this movie. They won Quidditch, they got all the points, they won the cup, and they beat the bad guys. Maybe they thought this would be the only movie in the series. They didn't think they'll make a second movie. I don't know, but I didn't like that. So I'm curious how how the rest of the series play out. All right, other thoughts. The music is great. Love the music. It fits the movie, fits the tone, everything about it. The iconic Harry Potter movie music is there. The designs, the CGI is good for this year. 2001 CGI, this is great. It's PlayStation 2 video game CGI in this movie. Some great stuff, great stuff. Yeah, the storyline was great too. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this movie. Alright, grading time. I'm going to grade Harry Potter. Oh, well, I guess before that, Is this a Friday night movie? Heck yes, it's a Friday night movie. Watch it with your friends and family. Now in grading time. Gonna grade Harry Potter a solid B. This movie's a fun movie to watch. It got some flaws, like when it gets really low, there's a low there at the Quidditch, the first round of Quidditch. The plot twist at the end though is really good. Another thing I didn't like was the ending, how it ended, and just like the Deus Ex Machina McGruffin stuff is like, I guess I'm gonna go with that. Yeah, the curse of love out of nowhere, or the the curse of love, or the fact that he got the Sorcerer's Stone in his pocket. Sure, I'll roll with that. But yeah, but everything else is great. The characters are great, the storyline is great. I enjoyed this movie. The artwork, like the design, everything, the music is great. Just those two things, the low really like with that low hit, you're like, oh my gosh, okay, how long this is gonna last? But it does pick back up. Also, you have the time limit, 2 hours and 30 minutes. This movie didn't need to be 2 hours and 30 minutes. This movie could have definitely been, you know, an hour and 40 minutes, or just 2 hours there. Hour and 40 minutes between 2 hours, or maybe 2 hours and 10 minutes. It did not need to be 2 hours and 30 minutes. That was unnecessary. But whatever, I'll roll with that. So that low hits, it does drag a little bit. And that's it. So it's all at B. If you've seen Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, what did you think? Please put in the comment section below. I'm curious what your thoughts are. And also, please be sure to subscribe and like. And thank you guys for watching this episode of Movie Breakdowns. See you next time. Keep being awesome. Thank you guys for watching this episode. I really appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe, and tell a friend about my series. Tell a friend about Grind Towards Success. Tell a friend about the Movie Breakdown series. If you really like these episodes, I really appreciate it. It means so much to me. It means so much. I can't tell you how much it means. Like it's like I'll be really grateful you just told a friend and share and subscribe to the series. And thank you guys for watching this. Also, if you want to follow my journey outside of YouTube or Facebook, you can go to my Instagram page and you can follow me on my Instagram page at Ali_Zakka. It's right here. Put it right here in my face. That way you're like, where's his face at? Well, it's right behind the Instagram logo. Yeah, but you can follow me on my Instagram page. And also, if you want another episode of Grind Towards Success or Movie Breakdowns, you can watch the episode of Grind Towards Success right here. You can watch the last episode of Movie Breakdowns right there. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. See you guys next time. Keep being awesome.